Hello. So what does this silly woman have going on now? Well, another one of these, what's on my desk? Do you have a pile like this somewhere in your house? You know, these boxes and containers that you're going to use in your art? I do. And it's getting a little out of hand. So what I need to do is make them manageable. So how am I going to do that? Because it's so easy to just shove one of these in the back of a closet. And then what do I use these for? These are great for making your own ephemera. They're great for creating a substrate for a collage. Well, I thought we're working in art journals. We are working in art journals, but sometimes it's fun to work on a different substrate, and then you can already it's smaller. But you know, working on a different substrate it's fun, it's refreshing. It can, you know, sort of send your mojo or your inspiration in a different direction. So I'm looking for where this box is sealed, and here's where it's sealed. So all I did was just open the top and the bottom, and now I'm just gonna run this and look. I mean, isn't that just inspirational? It is to me. So the first thing I'm going to do is I cut off these parts. Now, if you were going to make a journal, this could be perfect, and you might want to save those for a spine. I always have something in the cupboard. I always have a box of cereal or something in the cupboard. So I'm not going to save all these little pieces just in case. I don't have the space. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut these parts off. And you know, maybe you have a craft room that's as big as a 2-car garage, or maybe you have your whole basement. Well then, yeah, save this kind of stuff. But when you're sitting here watching me on a video, you're seeing about 50% of my my workspace. Seriously. Sometime I'll give you a tour if you're interested, and if you are, well, leave me a comment, and that would help me a lot. And if you find my content helpful, inspirational, educational, then consider subscribing. That helps me a lot too. But I just want to help you get things manageable. Now, this for me can go. I am not going to save this. Like I said, if for some reason I need a lid or a bottom of a box, I've always got something in the cupboard. All right, now, do you see these folds? Now, if you want to save this just as it is, you know, you can fold it up, and that's not bad. Not as bad. I mean, compare that to this. You see what I'm saying? But for me, this isn't going to be maybe serviceable. Now, what I am going to do is I think this and this could make good bookmarks or something like that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get my trimmer, but I'm going to cut, and this end I didn't cut. So I'm putting that at the top of my trimmer so that everything is straight and square, theoretically. I'm going to cut out that little seam because it's never straight and it's just always kind of in the way. At least that's my experience. So I'm going to cut it out, and I won't miss it. I promise you, I won't miss it. And there we go. Now, is this good for your trimmer? I don't know, but I don't have a guillotine, so I just have to use what I have. And if I have to buy a new blade, they're not that expensive. So I'm doing the same thing here. I'm cutting out that score mark. I haven't thrown anything away yet, not since the last time you saw me throw something away. Well, yes, I'm throwing away these little spiny parts. And then I'm going to go ahead and just take out this last seam. And I'm being as aware as I can be. Sometimes it's just better to come towards you. I'm being as mindful as I can to spare as much as I can, but see, this side even has that. But now, see, I want this squareness because this side I cut. So I'm just going to have to put this down and then grip it by the clear part here. And you know what? I'm going to, well, there. Move this to the top. Ta-da! Okay, I'm back. I got it fixed. Okay, back to this. So what I was saying is I don't want to use the other side of this piece of cardboard because it's not straight, and I want this to be straight. I may have to bite the bullet. Just may have to. So then, if that's the case, what I try to do is put it along a line so that, you know what I mean, like these lines, that it's kind of plumb with those, if I can. Okay, I think that's good. We'll see. We'll find out soon enough. All right, so now this, I also want to square up like that. Okay, so now this could be a really cool substrate, and you can go ahead and cut this into like 2.5 by 3.5, and that would be your artist trading cards. You can make tags, you can do all kinds of things, but this is what I ended up with instead of trying to store this. Now, am I going to stop keeping them? No, I will keep them. You know what I mean? I'm going to keep saving them as I know that I need them. But when my area that I store these in gets full, I can hear cereal rattling around. There, I don't want ants. When I get to the point that my storage area for the flat pieces is getting full, well, then I need to stop. Or else it's going to overflow into places that I don't want. So I'm going to do this one more time, and hopefully I won't have the issues I had before. Every box is different. Do you know what I mean? They all have their own kind of personality and the kind of glue that was used and just all that. And this one has a much tougher glue than the previous one. But that's okay, because I just won't make a bookmark out of this. All right, doesn't want to work. Let's get some scissors. You know, do it like you mean it, Julie, and just get her done. Get her done. And there she goes. Okay. Okay. Now, let's get rid of these crazy edges. And this is not going to be useful to anybody. Now, in some places I cut that seam off, in some places I didn't. I'm going to go right ahead and cut it out because it's going to be so impossible for me to do that on the trimmer. Okay, that's gone. And now I'm going to cut these edges off. So what are you working on? What's on your desk? What are you trying to get accomplished? Are you having a tidy Friday? Or are you working with what's on your desk to try to clear it off so you can start something totally new? Have you been harvesting magazines like we did? Or maybe making some ephemera? Let me know in the comments. I am interested. I really, truly am. I'd love to know what it is that's on your desk and what you're working with. You know, this cardboard is nice. It really is. It's not like irregular and grainy and weird. It's nice and smooth, and I think this could turn into something really nice, kind of a really nice project. All right, so all of my ends are pretty crooked. I can tell you that. There's not going to be one that I can count on. So when that happens, I'm just gonna take this seam out, trying to be as careful as I can and see if I can square it up this way. We shall see. Okay, this one does not have any seams, so I'm just gonna leave it. It's done. And this one, now this one would be good for making bookmarks, tags, and I can use it to reinforce a spine on a junk journal if I'm gonna make one of those, which I am. I had so much fun with the first one. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go and look. I have a, what do you call it? I don't know. It's like a group of videos that you all put together. Playlist. I have one that is my first junk journal. And in there, it's start to finish with me trying to make my first journal ever. And the ups and downs of that. But it was fun. Really, really fun. At least it was for me. I enjoyed it. So this one I never used a trimmer on because I really didn't have a squared up space. That's good if you've got a place that you can kind of use as a plumb line. But okay, so instead of 2 cereal boxes, now I have this. See? This is manageable. Now what I might do with some of them, not all, but I might go ahead and put a coat of gesso, white gesso, clear gesso, and that would just give me a different substrate that's dry and ready to go. And you can still cut it, you can still do what you want. And then some of them I'll just leave in this card color. And, you know, see, and maybe I'm going to, you know, put something on the back like a 12 by 12 that I wasn't real happy with, or, you know, there's others I like better. And then do some collage on this, collage posts, I mean, just anything. The sky's the limit. So let's just do one more, and then I think you'll get the hang of it. Now this, you think, well, what did you save this for? Well, that window. That can be a really cool element when you're making like a pocket or a tuck space, and that little window can just give someone a fun little peek into what's going on. So I am going to work to save that window. Now here's where the glue part is, and look how easy this one's coming apart. Hooray. That Life cereal, boy, that was well designed. And here we are. I'm gonna go ahead and cut off, it's a little weird piece here, cut off these ends that I really don't believe I'm gonna need. And as I say, if I just am so sorry I got rid of it because I need it right now, I can go in the cupboard. I can go in the cupboard and it'll be fine. You just can't always save everything. Well, I can't. Maybe you can. I can't. I would be run right out of this home of mine. The house would be full and I'd be living on the sidewalk. There. Okay, and that can go. And now I'm going to cut this. You might have thought when you had a box like this that it would be too small to really do anything with, but you would be surprised. Another thing, you know, and I don't know what you're up for, but if you're teaching children, if you decide to have a class, or maybe it's just your own family, little ones in your own family, then having these substrates can be a blessing because they can just have such a good time. And you know, this is not costing you anything, and you're not using your favorite watercolor paper, right? You know, that's a good thing. So I'm cutting out that seam or that score line or whatever that is. And that's good. This is heavier. This is much heavier than the cereal boxes that I was doing earlier. Isn't that something? noodles must be more fragile, because that's what this was. It was lasagna noodles. A good something. Oh, you know what? Now let's not break it again, but I want to move this up and bring it to me. Yeah, because it's a heavier cardboard or chipboard or whatever people call it nowadays. Cardboard almost seems like it's a phrase that nobody uses anymore. They call it gray board, chipboard, but I'm still looking at cardboard. Ugh. Some days I'll never learn. I hate to think of myself as an old dog, but I guess I am. And there we have it. So look at this cool window. And see, you can have something behind it, and then it can be a tag or something that someone pulls out. So that can be a lot of fun. Okay, so how to turn all those higgly-piggly boxes that you've been saving because the cardboard is so good and turn it into something usable, right? All right, I'm gonna take it one more step, and then I'm gonna trust you to handle it on your own. How's that sound? All right, I'm gonna take this piece of the shredded wheat, and I'm gonna go ahead and go 3.5. By 2.5, and that's your artist trading card size. And here's another 2.5. I can see that I got room for that. Wow, how close am I to having 3 of them? It is. Perfect. How does that happen? Not very often. So here I've got these 3. Nice and square, look, nice and square. And then I'm gonna take my corner punch, seat it in there really good. Yep, better. And look, I mean, look at that. Isn't that nice? What's wrong with that? And you can see the difference from the rounded corners and the knot. So, I hope this was helpful. I hope that it can help you get rid of this problem and turn it into this. Right? All right. Thank you for joining me. I'm looking forward to seeing those thumbs up, likes, subscribe, and if you know someone that's got a problem with saving boxes, share this video with them. Show them how they can turn maybe something that's getting in their way into something very usable. I will see you in my next video. Bye.